Hey everybody, good to see you. Welcome back. It's Sunday. We're getting ready for a brand new week coming up here, and I know I haven't been flying on the sim very much. It's been kind of a wild month. Made some plans to fly out. Weather didn't cooperate, and the real world just makes things so difficult sometimes. But we exercise good aeronautical decision making. We make the right choices for ourselves, our passengers, the safety of our airplane, and the people aboard it, and we make backup plans on top of backup plans. So, personally, I'm feeling about like getting flying and getting somewhere, anywhere. We got this hazy, muggy stuff going on around our hometown here, and I want to get out of Western Washington. I want to go across the mountains, and I want to get into Eastern Washington. And the best way to do that I know is a pressurized aircraft with the turbine spinning in it. So we're going to take the Vision Jet out of here, and we are going to go flying. Now, one of the things I love so much about the Vision Jet is that it really only takes basic controls. I've got this TA320 set up here. This Thrustmaster is for the Airbus, but the idea is that it mimics the side stick that's on the Vision Jet. I even got it canted a little bit. It's in this big giant post. I'm trying to remember what it's a RAM mount post. I think I had this installed. And then the only other thing it doesn't need all this magical stuff. It doesn't need the mixture. We're going to pull that off. It doesn't need the prop control. We're going to pull that off. And it doesn't need the Cessna. Well, this isn't even a Cessna throttle, but you know what I'm saying. All it needs is... We're up. Come on, Charles, you can do it. Reach. Just needs this one power lever. Bloop. There we go. Boom. Now we can put the rest of the stuff down. Boom, boom. Let's see. I only got one of these, so I'll go ahead and put that there. Alright, perfect. And we're configured. We're ready to go. Let's see. Let's talk about the route today. I'm going to go ahead and move over to Sky Vector, and we're going to talk about what we see there. So let's go over to Chrome. Perfect. Okay. So we're starting here at Tacoma Narrows, KTIW, and as you can see, we got blue, which means marginal VFR conditions. So scattered 16, broken 25, overcast 65. So the first layer is at 2,500. If it's above 3,000, then it's VFR conditions, but it's not. So it's MVFR. It's not, well, yeah, that's right. It used to be 3 statute miles and 2,000 layer. So it's VFR, but marginal. Not looking great. Now, temperature dew point splits are 18 and 16, so I expect a little bit of clearing today, but I don't know, not all that much. If you want to go over really quick to the tablet, why don't we take a look here, and we'll pull up TAF forecast discussion, upper level trough. Not great. Centered over western Washington, surface low west over the Pacific Ocean and east of the Cascades. Moist air worked into this region, low ceilings and viz across several terminals. Dense fog observed at Painfield, just a little ways north of us. Convergence zone, shower activity, Snohomish County. Chances of thunderstorm, best chance toward the Cascades. That's where we're supposed to be going. Crap. Chance for MVFR Monday morning, Puget Sound IFR along the coast over to the Olympics. Moist air in place, scattered and gustly. Okay, so we need to be thinking about thunderstorm chance. So why don't we take a look at where we want to go? We know we want to go over the Cascades. And the first place that we're going to see on the other side of the Cascades is sort of that Wenatchee-Ellensburg area. So if we go to a VFR chart, you can see it really well. The Cascade Range is kind of there-ish, and conditions at Stampede Pass, which is always a helpful thing to look at. 1/4 of a statute mile, rain, fog, variable winds, 30-16 on the altimeter setting. And then to the right, you can see green, 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 green. Like it's just wonderful over there, but is that true? Let's take a look at air, SIGMETs, and CWAs. Now we'll go ahead and turn off ice, turb, blah, blah, blah. We'll look at thunderstorm. SIGMETs. Anything? No. No. What else do we have? IFR conditions on the west. Okay, what else? Any turbulence? No. Any ice? Yes. Oh, interesting. Icing from 10,000 to 22,000. That's active now until, actually it's active for another 30 minutes and then it goes away. And then over here in Idaho, active until 11 o'clock a.m. PDT, so another 30 minutes. Freezing level 15,000, 11,000 up to 24,000, and we have icing conditions reported by pilots over here, but no icing conditions reported by pilots in the top zone, so I'm not too worried about that. And the other thing we want to look at is we want to look at radar returns. So we'll turn off air SIGMET CWAs, we'll turn on the radar, and what do we see? Well, up here in Canada, in Kamloops, we see some radar returns, and over to the east, we see radar returns with echo tops at 30,000 feet. Pretty significant, actually. Headed to the northeast, that's probably going to explain the icing conditions that are being reported by pilots here. But so far, over the Cascades, nada. Cool. That's great. That's good news for us. Now, we know that as the temperatures go up, if we have moist air, we're going to see conditions for thunderstorms begin to develop as the day goes on. So leaving in the morning is a good idea. That's great. So we want to get out of here pretty soon. And where do we want to go? Well, I'm going to head all the way out to Walla Walla. I think that's my destination today. We're going to go pick up some wine. So let's go KTIW and then KALW. So straight line distance is going to be 191 nautical miles. We'll change this to the Cirrus Vision Jet. And a straight line is going to be 44 minutes. 44 minutes. Obviously, a straight line is probably not the way to go here, so let's figure out which of the routes we'd like to take. Weather being what it is, we don't have anywhere especially bad that we need to deal with, right? We're not trying to dodge any weather, so a straight line is probably pretty good. So VAMPs on the Victor 2 airway to the Ellensburg VOR, then on the Victor 187 to Pasco VOR, then on the Victor 520 to the Walla Walla VOR is sort of the recommended and classical route, and that doesn't divert us too far. I mean, do you look down south here, you can see, whoa, this is like if you wanna go the other way and you want to duck some weather, but we don't need to do that today. So they're suggesting flight level 230 today, so let's go ahead and update planned altitude, and we'll take a look at our weather conditions. So flight level 230, 16 knot tailwind. Flight level 270, 15 knot tailwind. 230 seems absolutely fine. It's a good compromise. We're not saving time and we're not saving that much fuel by going any higher than that. If we go lower than that, we're burning more fuel, so it seems like a pretty good place to go. And that gives us a little opportunity to climb if we need to climb, or descend if we need to descend. So 230 is a good compromise. And departure out of here, KTIW today, as we said, marginal VFR. So it probably makes sense to use the Narrows 1 departure. So we'll go ahead and plug in Narrows 1 just to understand what it is. We're not going to file it that way, but we just want to be sure there's no Narrows 1 departure. And then let's get ready for our arrival into KALW by looking at the weather over there. Okay, good. I'm actually on camera and I'm not still stuck in Chrome. Show and map. Walla Walla regional weather. 230 at 12, 10 statute miles, clear. That's cool. That means we could probably do the visual if we wanted to. And then as we see things from 3012 to 0112, they're expecting 190 at 8 knots, greater than 6 statute miles visibility, few at 80 and broken at 120. That's fantastic. So what would that mean for us? Probably runway 20 makes the most sense, and that's 6,500 feet. Let's just go ahead and pop that. So it's 6,500 feet, 150 feet wide, which is absolutely great. It's no problem. We're going to have no problem landing on that. So how do we want to set up for how do we want to set up for the approach? Well, we have the RNAV 20, and that can start at it can start at ALW. You can see right there, it'd be you start at ALW and then 4,600 feet to Kimu, and then we do the course reversal right there. That seems like probably the way to go. Other options are the ILS Loc. That looks like that starts at. Well, that can. Where can it start? My God, this one is yuck. Let me get rid of my chicken scratch. Shunk. There we go. Hollow, Butok. Either of those would work. I think RNAV makes sense, don't you? So let's set up for the RNAV. 3 NOTAMs. Runway 20, close to approach speed more than... Okay, except scheduled aircraft Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, today's a Sunday. ILS, runway 20 out of service. Ooh, ILS is down, so I guess we better be doing... the RNAV GPS runway 20, and we'll start at the Walla Walla VOR. So we'll clear that. Hit maps, procedure, approach, RNAV GPS runway 20 starting at ALW. Equipment category, we're category C. And we have LPV, and we're doing a straight-in approach, so we don't need circling minimums. Okay, our minimums are going to be 1394, and runway elevation is 1194. So we have 200 feet above touchdown. Alrighty, this looks pretty good. Let's roll over to the web browser, and we'll do our flight plan real quick here. No alternate needed. VAMPS V2 ELN V187 PSC V520 ALW. Let's be sure that looks right. VAMPS to the Victor 2 airway, then to Ellensburg VOR, then on the Victor 187 to the Pasco VOR, then on the Victor 520 to the Walla Walla VOR. IFR, me, SF50 slant golf, 250 knots true airspeed, KTIW, arriving Walla Walla, 23,000 feet. Looks good. Sweet. Oh, y'all ready to fly? I'm ready to fly. All right. Let's make sure that that's looking good. Looking good. Performance mode. All right. And how's the airplane looking today? Looks pretty good. Everything is right. We're just going to get these doors closed down and get rolling here. Wonder if I can close it from here. Doesn't look like I can. That's too bad. Oh well. All right. Yep. Pull out the tablet here. Okay, we'll pull out the chocks, we'll take the covers off, we'll close the luggage door, put our Bose headphones on, there we go, and all passengers are in and ready to go. Plane is fueled up, we'll get this door closed. Fantastic. Power on. Alright, Navcom, MFD, Utilities checklist. And we'll do before engine start checklist. Okay, that's on the right. Cool. Alright. Pre-flight inspection is done. Door is latched. Parking brake as required. It's on. Battery switches are on. Gen 1 is on. External GPU, not an issue. FADEC channel A. Okay, procedure complete. Strobe lights on. A strobe light. Alright, cast messages show parking brake only. Thrust lever to idle. Let's take a look at our thrust lever. Up, down. Okay, we're at idle. Good. Brakes hold. Engine knob run. Fuel pump check. Okay, and we have fuel pump on showing on the CAS. And next, engine start. Okay, and monitor 25% N2, ensure positive N1 indication. 25% N2 now. Positive N1 achieved. ITT is going up. We're watching this doesn't exceed the limits as we come online. And we're watching for successful light off. Looking good. Thrust now 2%, and N1, N2, ITT, oil, temperature, and PSI are stable. Positive charge on the bus, 10 gallons per hour being burned. Engine light off is successful. EIS check all normal. They are normal. Engine IPS is required. We're not going to need that just yet. ECS control panel set. I guess that's our environmental control systems. Let's have ourselves a little comfortable temperature here. Fan control is on auto. That's nice. We don't need defog. We don't need any of that crap. ECS is rolling. Got some good stuff coming in here. Alright, external GPU disconnect. Oxygen master switch. Oxygen on. Alright, avionics initialization. Avionics initialization, system tests, let's begin.
Fire. Stall.
Cool. System tests are done. Initial fuel, we're going to do a fuel on board sink, 269 gallons, we're good. Weight and balance, crew and stores, 1,230, cargo, do we get weight and stores, we need cargo, we got 50 pounds on board. Zero fuel weight, 4030. Takeoff, 5834, our max takeoff weight is 6,000, so we're good. And flight plan, add origin, we'll do KTIW, and destination KALW, and we'll put in the rest of the intermediate waypoints when we get our ATC clearance. Oh, that's hilarious. I can't believe I just did that.
Fire.
Watch your clicks, folks.
Fire.
I'm gonna start all over again.
Stall.
Initial fuel, weight, balance, payload, cargo, takeoff, we're okay. Flight plan, okay, except initialization. There we go. Alright. Feeling pretty good there. Caps pin remove and stow. That'd be the caps pin that's up here, but it's already been removed. We're good there. Passengers brief. That's alright, I'll talk to you as we go. Just get your seatbelts on, please. And bleed is on, and I'm going to turn the probe heat on. Okay, we're good there. Alright. And we're on to our before taxi checks. Com and nav GPS set. We're gonna put our nav in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and call. Let's go ahead and com nav down here. I'm gonna call Seattle departure on 122.2 for clearance, and then we're gonna set com 2 to 1215. That's our, and then 405 is Tacoma Narrows weather, if I remember correctly. So let's get the ATIS information here. Information Yankee, 1700 Zulu, wind 215 at 5. Visibility 10. Sky condition few at 26. Few clouds at 10,000. Few clouds at 13,900. Temperature 18. Dew point 10. Altimeter 3013. ILS runway 17 is in use. Landing departing runway 17. Advise on initial contact. You have information Yankee. Yankee. Okay, good deal. Okay, we're all set there. 122 is set, and then COM 1 I'm going to dial 118.5, which is Tacoma Tower, but it's just Tacoma traffic here because Pilot Edge doesn't simulate KTIW as a towered airport. COM and nav GPS have been set. ATIS clearance obtained. We have the ATIS. Let's set our Barrow 3013. Barrow is set. And we'll go ahead and call for our clearance. Tablet up. Seattle departure, good day, Vision Jet 6378, Mike on the ground at Tacoma, looking to pick up our IFR to Walla Walla.
Vision Jet 6378, Mike, Seattle, Roger, standby 1.
All right, wait for our IFR. In the meantime, let's get our MFD set up here. So I'm gonna press the little button that switches to the navigation map. Range out a little bit. Map settings. Traffic is on. Terrain is off because we have our radar.
Jet 78 Mike, you're cleared to Walla Walla Airport via filed. On departure, climb maintain 2000. Expect flight 23010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency will be 120.4. Squawk 4461. Hold for release.
Cleared to the Walla Walla Airport via as filed. Climb maintain 2000. Expect flight level 23010 minutes after departure. Frequency 120.4, squawk 4461, hold for release, 6378 Mike.
Jet 78 Mike, is that correct? Advise number 1 ready for departure.
Will advise, Vision Jet 6378 Mike. Okay, so we didn't get the Narrows 1 departure, we're not flying
United 1478,
today.
amendment to your descent, center maintain for level 240.
So we're going to climb 2000, we got visual, we can essentially get on. We're cleared direct VAMPs. We're going to...
1478, keep brake, no voice.
Watch this. Alright, let me turn off the... move the tablet here. So, en route waypoint. Type VAMPs. V-A-M-P-S. And then we're going to press this, and we're going to do load airway. And so we'll load the Victor 2. And that'll sequence us. We're going to exit at Ellensburg. Okay, we'll load that. Okay, VAMPs to Ellensburg. And then at Ellensburg, we're going to load the Victor 187 airway. And that's going to sequence us to dump out at Pasco. Let me turn that tablet off, I'm sorry. It's going to dump us out at Pasco. We'll load that. And then at Pasco, we're going to pick up the Victor 520. And that's going to dump us out at the ALW, the Walla Walla VOR. All right, and destination KALW, and I'll go ahead and load the RNAV 20 GPS starting at ALW. We'll load it, but we won't activate it yet. Okay, flight plan is ready to go. And so let's think about what we're trying to do here. So we're going to go remove from route. I put the tablet up here. If we have visual obstacle clearance, which we know that we have because we're looking at clouds, few clouds at 26, few at 100, few at
Number 70 Sierra, the Centennial altimeter.
We should be able at 700 AGL to make a left turn and go direct VAMPs.
Yeah, stand by on the approach. What was the altimeter again?
We can climb and we'll just...
3024.
304 and 0 Sierra.
3024. Sorry, I don't mean to be doing that guy's job for him. Alright, so we're going to take off, and our initial altitude, so AP, we'll spin the dial here and set to 2,000. And our initial heading is going to be 167 because that's runway 17 here at Tacoma Narrows. Initial heading and altitude have been set. Our flight plan is set. Let's do the rest of our checklist. Altimeter is set. Transponder. What were we told? We were told to squawk 4461.
United 1478 affirmed. Descend and maintain flight level 240.
4461. Enter. Squawk at 4461. Set to auto. And we'll do our departure frequency when we're ready for takeoff. Transponder set. Heading initial alt is set. Flight controls free and correct. Okay, we're going to just check that. Okay, back and forth. Rudders look good. Good. Trim set to 6 degrees. 6. We're set there. Flaps 50%. Okay, flaps 50 and watching for response. We have flaps at 50. Electric roll trim is set. It is set. Toga button press. I guess I have to press that manually here. Toga mode is on. You can see takeoff shown there, and the little flight director is showing a pitch up for 10 degrees. CAS messages check. All we have is parking brake. Looking good. Parking brake release. Brakes check on the way out. I know it does take a long time to get this baby rolling, but it's worth it. Alright. Taxi lights up. Nav lights up.
Springs approach, Cardinal 3700.
And we'll go ahead and switch over COM 118.5. Tacoma traffic. Vision Jet 6378. Mike Northeast parking. Taxi runway 17. Tacoma. Okay, we're Mike 1 monitoring 1 and 2. Like hearing that turbine respond. It's pretty awesome. It's a little noisy outside. Whee! Just like that. Alright, I'm going to go to PFD real quick. We're going to put the speed bugs. We're going to turn the speed bugs on. And back to NavCom. Alright, before taxi checks are complete, switch to before takeoff. And we're going to stop short here of 17. Get our feet on the brakes, looking out for other traffic. Okay, initial altitude. Ooh, heading got reset. Why? I don't like that. That's weird. Okay, fix that. Okay, departure briefing complete. So what we're going to do here, remember, we're going to take off at 700 feet AGL, which is 1,000 feet. It's going to be left turn for VAMPs. Left turn for VAMPs. We lose an engine on takeoff. We're going to take a right turn, and we're going to go for the beach. If we lose an engine above 2,000 feet, we'll turn back and land opposite direction. But provided all goes well, we're going to take off at 1,000 feet. We're going to make a left turn for VAMPs. Make sure we call departure and let them know what's going on. And that's it for departure briefing. Landing lights as required. Alright, we're going to go turn the landing lights on. Probe heat switch is on. It is verified. Engine IPS switch as required. We'll go ahead and turn the... we don't need any icing right now, actually. We're not flying through through anything. Wave stab IBS is off. Cast messages check. Trim to 6. Flaps 50. Check trim is 6. Flaps are 50. Verify takeoff emergency cat bass is not displayed. Before takeoff multifunction windows configured. They are. Alright, we got the normal takeoff procedures ready to go. We're going to go COM1, switch to 122, not 205, 1222. There we go. HFR.
United 1478 at Bear, contact Salt Lake City approach 135.5.
Seattle departure, Vision Jet 6378 Mike. We're number 1 for departure, ready to go. Tacoma, holding for IFR release.
Vision Jet 6378 Mike, Seattle Roger. Release for departure, clearance void if not off in 5 minutes. Time now 1739 Zulu. If not off in 5 minutes, advise ATC of intentions no later than 10. Frequency change approved.
Release for departure, clearance void if not off in 5. Frequency change approved, 6378 Mike. Alright, there's 118.5 Tacoma Tower, and then we're going to switch 120.4, which is going to be our departure frequency, and we're ready on comms. We're ready to go. We've got 5 minutes. Alright, checking left, checking right. 118.5 broadcast. Tacoma traffic, Vision Jet 6378 Mike, taking off runway 17, departure to the east, Tacoma. Let's take that runway.
Approaching runway 17. Entered runway 17, 4,900 feet remaining.
Not going to have any problem taking off with that much runway. And it's dry, so no problems there. Temperature's above freezing, no issues there. 17, that matches up with what we expect, so rock and roll. Alright, brakes on. Brakes hold, thrust lever to takeoff. Engine instruments check normal. Release brakes. Rotate at VR 80 to 90 knots. Pitch for 5. Landing gear up with positive rate of climb and flaps up at 115. And we're going to go for 140 knot climb. Alright, let's go. Engine instruments look normal. We have takeoff power. Releasing the brakes. So it says pitch for 5. I don't know why the flight directors have me pitch for 10. Anyway, airspeed is alive. Engine instruments still look good. We're continuing. VR, rotate. Nose up, 5 degrees. Gear up. Gear's coming up. Flaps up at 115. Flaps. Alright, fly runway heading until we're 1,000 feet AGL, or 700 feet AGL, which is at 1,000 feet, then turn direct VAMPs.
At 16,000.
And we'll go ahead and pull that power back to MCT.
United 1478, Salt Lake City, Roger. Descend via the Skis 5 arrival.
And we're going to bring our climb down to 2,000. Bring our climb down so we don't go above 2,000. Want that thrust way back. And we'll get up to 2,000. We'll call Seattle departure. We're going direct VAMPs. There's 2,000. I always end up overshooting it.
Beam 4 Alpha is boarding the takeoff and exiting the runway on the left here.
Beaver 4 Echo Alpha, copy. And did you want to taxi back, or do you want to stay there until it get resolved?
Let me stay here for a couple of minutes and I'll get back to you.
Copy.
Seattle departure, Vision Jet 6378 Mike, 2,000 feet, direct VAMPs.
Vision Jet 6378 Mike, Seattle, ident.
Ident, Vision Jet 6378 Mike.
United 1478, just to verify, you wanted the left or the right?
It's possible like the left for United 1478.
Slow it down.
United 1478, roger, at Iron, clear for the ILS, runway 16 left approach.
Roger, at Iron, clear the ILS, left approach on 1478.
Jet 78 Mike, radar contact, 12 miles to the southwest of Seattle, climb maintain 15,000.
Climb maintain 15,000, 6378 Mike. Alright, let's climb.
Before Kava is ready to taxi, we'll be going back to the Alpha ramp. I have a stuck elevator.
Beaver 4 Echo Alpha, roger, taxi to the ramp, Alpha, this frequency.
Alpha this frequency, Beaver 4 Alpha.
Alright. Let's climb for 165. Make sure that we have MCT. Okay. Just a little bit below takeoff thrust. We're good there. And a little bit left. I'm at 15,000. I'm going to go ahead and turn my anti-ices on. And we're climbing a little aggressively. Trying to climb for 165. Okay, MCT looks good. Still climbing a little aggressively here. Just trying to trim it down. Okay, CDI is swinging in. Crossing 5,000. Now climbing at 165 knots. That feels right. And right turn as that CDI swings in. Right. There we go. Go and set to nav mode then, FMS. Time for 15,000. I'm just hand flying this right now. We'll get the autopilot on once the FMS speed gets, once we climbed out and the FMS speed is more reasonable. We're not climbing at 250 knots, that's bogus. I could set it to manual, maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, AT speed set to manual and spin down. Oh, that's actually not too bad. I thought it was going to be dialing for dollars here. IAS to 166, AP is activated, and flying by wire. And we'll sink debug. Alright, let's do our checklist. Climb MCT, engine parameters monitor, cabin pressure monitor. Yep, we've got a PSI at 2.6. Engine instruments are good. We're holding MCT. We're not using auto throttle yet. Alright, we can turn our anti-icing systems off. We got no problems here. Cabin pressure monitor, ice protection as required, and then transition altitude comes when we get cleared above 18,000. Remember, we're going for flight level 230. Oh, wow. Somebody right there.
United 1478 at Lagoon, and contact Salt Lake City Tower 119.05.
Roger, 1905, Lagoon for United 1478, we'll feed a bit.
And we're through 10,000, climbing 15,000. And we got Vamps, then Bander, then Beezer to Ellensburg, so everything is good there. Let me go ahead. Now that we're up, we're going to go ahead and turn our noise reduction on. Oh, that feels better, doesn't it? Alright. Alright. Having a good old time up here. Want to say hi to my buddy Havlin. How you doing there, big guy? I'm just up here flying. Let's see here. Aircraft systems, IPS stall and offset reset. I'm going to press that there. Check status and info. Make sure everything looks good. Okay, at this point, VREF is 85 knots. That's not too bad. Make sure that we have enough fuel. We're looking good. Fuel on board for 2 hours and 24 minutes. And our estimated landing is at 1850 UTC, so we have 1 hour until we land. That's fine. And we're not even going at our maximum speed yet, so everything looks good there. Get our map back. And I'll go ahead and press...
Jet 78 Mike, contact Salt Lake City Center 126.6.
Confirm contact Salt Lake City Center 126.6, Vision Jet 6378 Mike.
Correction, say right frequency, wrong sector, Seattle Center 126.6.
Contact Seattle Center 126.6, 6378 Mike. I love it. I love it. These guys have got a tough job. So, you know, you try to be good, try to check, and just make sure we're hearing the same thing. Seattle Center, Vision Jet 6378 Mike, 13,000 feet, climbing 15,000 feet.
Vision Jet 78 Mike, correction, 6378 Mike, Seattle Center, roger, climb and take flight level 230.
Climb and take flight level 230, Vision Jet 6378 Mike. All right. 230. Dial is set. And that's Vamps. Right turn for Bander.
United 1478, Salt Lake City Tower, runway 16 left, wind 160 at 15, gust 23, clear land.
Mount Rainier. Love it. What a beautiful place to fly. Even when there's clouds everywhere, it's still gorgeous. Well, I'm living it. All right, well, let's do a little bit of looking ahead here. We want to see how things are sort of trending weather-wise. So our map settings show connects radar is out to 400 nautical miles. So if I go like this and I 150 nautical miles out there, so that's our radar, and it's telling us it doesn't see anything, even all the way out to our destination and beyond. Now, if I remember right, weather... Ooh, neat. Huh, wonder what that's about. Weather selection, connects settings.
Cardinal 700, just want to maintain 8,000, traffic, 12 o'clock, 12 miles opposite direction, type unknown, altitude indicates 9,000 VFR.
Now what if I use my own radar? Boop. Radar mode, display mode, weather. Scan horizontal, calibrated gain. Try vertical scan. Back to horizontal scan. Nothing.
Beaver 524, Echo Alpha, Centennial Ground, roger, runway 17 left, taxi via Alpha, Alpha 1.
Display mode, standby, radar off. Let's not be shooting radar out our nose at everybody. And connects weather, so we'll zoom that out. Nothing. It's glorious. So we're getting out of here before the thunderheads really build, which is probably there's probably gonna be thunderstorms right where we are in the next 3 or 4 hours. You know, we're starting to see the temperatures increase, and that's going to cause the updraft of air, and that air is unstable and it's moist and it wants to get up there, and so we're going to see thunderheads building around the Cascades, but we are long gone by then, so bye-bye. Alright, we'll switch over to map. Got our flight plan there. So the next thing we want to start thinking about is descent, right? Now that we're up there,
TBM 9196 Golf, Denver, roger, stand
we're
by
having
1.
a nice day up here, everything is cool. Now we want to start thinking, once we get up to flight level 230, what's our descent plan going to look like? So let me go ahead and get the tablet up, and we'll start talking about that a little bit. Now, as you can see, the actual weather that we're seeing on ForeFlight does not jibe exactly with the weather in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it's actually kind of close. So let me zoom in a little bit, and you can actually see there's some crap
TBM
there.
96 Golf, you're cleared to Centennial Airport via filed on departure, climb and take flight level 230, expect flight level 240, 10 minutes
now,
after.
both systems
Departure frequency will be
agree
with
that
Denver on
there's no
120.47,
precipitation
squawk
where we're headed.
2127.
Right? Remember, the Connects radar goes out to 400 nautical miles. Our destination, KALW, right in that area, and there's nothing there. And if we look here, there's agreement from the radar that there's nothing at KALW.
TBM 96 Golf, readback correct.
Most of the, the Microsoft Flight Simulator weather and the real world weather pretty much in tandem.
TBM 96 Golf, A firm, hold for release.
Remember what we just did? We crossed standard pressure line.
1478, taxi to park,
standard barrel,
Hotel Yankee, good
and
frequency.
continue climbing to 23,000. Flight level 230. Okay, let's talk about descent. So we know that we want to be down ALW 4600 to Kimu. So and what is that? That's 13 miles. We'll call it 13 miles. We'll call it 12 miles just for easy division. So assuming we're going to cross Kimu at you see Victor 520 is 3200 MEA. So we could probably cross Kimu or ALW at 4,600. They're probably going to have us descend, probably maintain 5,000. So let's assume we want to get down to 5,000 feet by, what do you think, Pasco? That gives us 40 miles from Pasco. So we'd probably be, remember we're doing 3 for 1, right? So it's 3 miles for every 1,000 feet that we go down. So that would allow us, let's call that 36. 36, it's going to be
Cardinal
12.
70 Sierra, fly heading
12,000
350.
feet down to 5,000. So if we want to be 5,000 by ALW, we can go down 12,000 from that. We can be 17,000 at Pasco. And we want to get down from 23,000 to 17,000 at Pasco. Let me start plugging some of this stuff into my flight.
Beaver 524 Echo Alpha, Centennial Tower, runway 17 left, clear for takeoff, winds variable at 5.
We're almost at 23, at flight level 230. Once we do that, we're going to do a little bit of work. But in the moment, I'm going to go flight plan, and I'm going to go Pasco, and let's do altitude 17,000.
Beaver 4 Echo Alpha, A firm.
And we'll punch enter into that. Right now, we're not seeing any VNAV data. Let's get established. Okay, we're 1,000 feet from our cruising altitude. As you can see now, we're actually cracking out of the clouds here, and ahead of us, it's absolutely beautiful. Not a cloud in sight, so no precipitation, obviously, because of no radar signature, but not even any clouds. So go figure. Okay, 500 feet to go until 230, and then we're going to speed up to our cruising speed. So as soon as this is done its thing and we're out of the FLC mode, which is holding at Mach 0.374 climb. Okay, now we're in Alt-S mode, and it's no longer holding a particular climb angle to hold the speed. There we go. We're seeing it level out, and speed's going to come up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to punch FMS speed ref. And we want Mach 0.520 for our speed, and we're now at Mach 0.4, so we're going to go ahead and stay at MCT, and we're going to let the speed come up. I'm going to futz with the throttle a little bit, see if I can give it a little more gas. There we go. Alright, so speed is increasing to Mach 0.520. I'm going to go ahead and stay on manual throttle until we're close to 520, then I'll activate the auto throttle, and then we'll have all axes of the aircraft and the power setting being controlled by the computer. And then we can do a little bit more work. We can start talking about our descent. We can start talking about setting up for the approach, because it's really not going to take that long. Let's get back to our checklist for a second, since we're in a new phase of flight, right? New phase of flight, always got to do that. So cruise, cool. 2 checklists, I love it. Thrust lever is required. We're working on that. Ice protection is required, and EIS monitor. Okay, procedure complete. That was fun. Back, map, and we'll press the button for full, and we're back to the map. All right, and we're taking a look at our PFD here, and watching speed come up, nice and gentle, nice and easy. Now Mach 0.47, going for a target of Mach 0.520. You can see that that's established just around 222 knots indicated. And it's taken its time. I mean, it's It's only a single turbine. You can't, it can't lift the entire world, but it's doing a darn good job. And our speed over the ground now is 316 knots, making great time. Okay, now for a descent, it's calculated time to top of descent now is 15 and a half minutes, thereabouts, and then a down angle of 3 degrees. So top of descent, which you can see here between Phoebus and Niles. Let's see if that fits our expectations. Phoebus and Niles, so right about here to Pasco, right about between these two. And that's, looks like 39 nautical miles. And you divide that by 3, gives you 13. Minus 13,000 gets you 10,000 by Pasco. Huh, that's kind of funny. I thought we were supposed to be at 12,000 by Pasco. Or did I say 17? I said 17,000 by Pasco. Huh.
Cardinal 70 Sierra, verify descending to 8.
Destination ASOS is 135.875.
Maybe it's past Niles. Oh, it's past Niles. Okay, let's try again. Past Niles to Pasco is 21 nautical miles. That's actually 7,000 feet. 7,000 feet minus 23,000 is, yeah, 16,000. It's pretty close to 17,000. So all the math checks out. Okay, I don't think we're going to pick up Walla Walla weather this far out, but I'll try. 135.875. Okay. We may not hear it either. Nope, not picking up anything. And we're just about to hit 222. There's our Mach 0.516. I'll go ahead and activate auto throttle now. Okay, auto throttle is active. You can see the AT there. We're in FMS mode, so that's our GPS, and autopilot is on, yaw damper is on, holding altitude at flight level 230, and speed control via the
Jet 78 Mike, contact Seattle Center 132.6.
Contact Seattle Center 132.6, Vision Jet 6378 Mike. There's the auto throttle backing off the backing things off just a little bit. Seattle Center Vision Jet 6378 Mike, flight level 230.
Vision Jet 6378 Mike, Salt Lake City Center, roger. Descent at pilot discretion, maintain 1000. The Tri-Cities altimeter is 3001.
Descent at pilot's discretion, maintain 1000 feet. Could you say again, please, Tri-Cities altimeter?
Tri-Cities altimeter 3001.
Thank you for 3001, Vision Jet 678 Mike.
Cardinal 07 Sierra, turn right direct Lowry, cross Lowry level 7800, clear for the RNAV runway 17 left approach.
Okay, cool. So our descent clearance is actually more aggressive than we had planned, so we can descend anytime we want, and we can go down as low as 11,000. So let's assume for a second then that we, and I'll show you our tablet. Let's assume for a second then that we know that we want to get the RNAV GPS 20, and we want to start it at the ALW, the Walla Walla VOR. And we know that Walla Walla VOR shows 400 to 600 feet to Kimu. I'm gonna make a guess that we're gonna need to cross Walla Walla ALW at or above 5,000 feet. Even if it's higher than that, this plan won't take us any lower, so we're safe with that. The question is, if we're at 11,000 feet at Pasco, can we get down to 5,000 feet by the time we cross the Walla Walla VOR? So 11,000 feet is 36 miles. At a 3 to 1, that means we can lose 12,000 feet. If we're 11,000 feet and we lose 12,000 feet, we're at negative 1,000 feet. Clearly we can make it. So that tells me that we want to be down to something more like, well, let's see, we want to be 5,000 feet by the time we ALW. We lose 12,000 feet. 12,000 plus 5,000 is 17,000. We want to be at 17,000 by Pasco. And if you remember, that's exactly what I plugged in to my flight plan for VNAV. Now again, we can't go any lower than 11,000, but right now we don't have to. We know that if we get down to 17,000 by Pasco, we can get down to the required 5,000 across the ALW with no problem at all. So there's no need to descend yet, and being up here is great. We get a fantastic ground speed, 337 knots. We burn less fuel up here. We're burning 71 gallons per hour, which actually sounds like a lot now that I think about it, but it'd be a lot more if we were lower down, right? Thinner air up here means that there's less friction to fight against, and we're rocking and rolling, and the less fuel is required to burn because of the fuel-air mixture is required differently when we're up here. So we're cutting through over the ground at 336 knots. We're killing it, and so we want to stay up here as long as we legitimately can. So what's our VNAV system tell us? It tells us that the time to top a descent is 9 minutes and 15 seconds. At that time, we'll want to come down to 17,000. So here's what I'm going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is AP, and we're going to roll this bug down to 17,000. Just like that, right? 17,000. And remember that the Pasco altimeter is 3001. We're going to want to remember that as we come down, because we're pre-bugged to 3013. So I'm going to go ahead tune to 3001. See that? And so when I click that bad boy, click it off standard barrows, we come out of 18,000. It'll set it to 3001. And I just want to be absolutely sure that Tri-Cities altimeter, is that absolutely right? Pasco Tri-Cities. Oh my god.
Cardinal 70 Sierra, contact Centennial Tower 118.9er.
Oh yeah, it's 3001. Wow, wickedly different barometric conditions here. Okay, so we're on our way to Phoebus. Phoebus is now 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Remember, past Niles is our top of descent. So why don't we take a look at that on the old map here.
Cardinal 370 Sierra, Centennial Tower, roger, runway 17 left, clear, winds are 360 at 6, clear lane.
Right there is TOD, top of descent is right there past Niles, between Niles and Exode. So now that we've got 17,000 bugged, the next thing we want to do is we want to tell it that we are okay, we are on VNAV guidance. What this means is that with VNAV guidance active, we're going to get a glide path indicator that will show up here, I believe, and it will automatically activate vertical guidance and pitch us down to maintain its VS target of 1778 feet per minute with a pitch down angle of 3 degrees. And then the other thing we want to check, we're going to go to flight plan, I'm going to press VNAV, and we're going to check our profiles. Descent profile, the descent schedule is 250 knots or Mach 0.5 at a 3 degree down angle. And it is also identifying the altitude speed limit below 10,000. You got to stay under 250 knots. And when we're in the terminal area within 10 miles of KALW and below 3,000 feet, we want to be at 2,000 knots or 200 knots or less. So that's what's going to happen here. Then is if we have our auto throttle on and we have our vertical guidance on, it should alter this Mach to be 0.500. And the auto throttle will automatically pull back to maintain that speed as we nose down and begin our descent. So all that should be happening. If any of it doesn't happen correctly, then I'm going to take it manual and I'll fly it myself. But that's going to do it. So next right turn at Phoebus is going to be in 1 minute. Let's start talking about the approach. So let's get our plates out. Next thing is let's see if we can pick up any weather at Walla Walla. We are getting closer. We should be able to hear something. Walla Walla 214 at 11. Okay. 214 at 11. 214 at 11. Sky condition 4900 broken. And temperature 23 Celsius. Ooh, getting a little bit steamy there. 3002 altimeter. That's ALW. No informations, but that shows us wind at 214. And that's good news because we want runway 20, so we have only a 14 degree angle. Remember, when you hear it, it's magnetic. When you see it, it's true. So that's magnetic 214 versus a runway heading of 202. So we're only off by 12 degrees. That's not a big headwind issue. And 11 knots, it's not a big wind anyway. So that looks good. 20 is our intended runway, and it looks like our plan is still good. Overcast clouds, broken clouds at 4,900 above runway elevation. So 4,900 above runway elevation, 4,900 plus 1,200 is 6,800 MSL. So we should expect to actually break out of any of these clouds even by the time we're at the ALW VOR. We should be below the clouds and all good. Now, assuming, though, that we're going to continue our LPV-based RNAV 20 approach, our minimums will be 1394 MSL. So I'll
CBO
go
919
ahead
is
and
Golf,
plug that.
Denver Roger, release your departure, clearance for us now in 5 minutes, time now
minimums,
1808 Zulu, if not off in 5 minutes, advise
1,
ATC of intentions
3,
no later than 10,
niner,
frequency change
4,
approved.
enter. Okay, minimums have been set, we can see that right there, so we're good. And we have LPV. We'll make sure that when we're on the approach, LPV is shown here, and if it's not and we have to do LNAV, then we're going to change our approach, but we'll be flying with vertical guidance and localizer precision.
Cardinal 70 Sierra, exit left when
horizontal,
able, and say
or
your parking
lateral
destination.
guidance, excuse me. Okay, we're now on Phoebus to Niles leg, and past the Niles leg is going to be our top of descent. Let's re-verify everything is set. You can see that path has been illuminated here, so the VNAV is armed. 1 minute from top of descent, we should hear vertical
Cardinal 70
track.
Sierra, did you want the north or the south?
That tells us that we
gotta be a little
have,
bit more specific.
That tells us that we have vertical guidance inbound in 1 minute. So,
Cardinal 70 Sierra, Roger, taxi to Park Alpha to the ramp, remain this frequency.
okay, I'll turn that tablet off now. Nope, that's not true. Let's brief the approach. Okay, so we're going to expect Walla Walla VOR as our initial approach fix. We're going to ask for that when we get the chance. It's going to be a left turn and direct Kimu from there for Walla Walla to Kimu once we cross. And then at Kimu, we're going to do our course reversal. This is going to be a parallel entry. We're going to cross Kimu, and then it's going to be a left turn back inbound 202 to cross Kimu at or above 4,600 feet. Once we cross Kimu coming back the other way, we then can come down to 3,200 feet to cross Kosuv at or above 3,200. Kosuv is our final approach fix. That's where our vertical guidance is established, and we'll fly a coupled approach all the way down on LPV, so it'll follow the vertical track down to our decision altitude of 13904. And if we have the runway in sight and we have runway in sight, we have minimums satisfied, so that's going to be an RVR of 2,400, or what is that? Let's call it half a mile. I'm going to call it half a mile. So if we have visibility of half a mile and the runway environment is sight and we're in a safe position to land, we can continue. And we're expecting a straight in runway 20, so shouldn't be an issue. No circling, nothing like that. If we have to go missed, here are the instructions. Climb 4,000, direct to Ceylon, and hold at Ceylon. And that'll be a parallel entry into Ceylon, so that'll be fly Ceylon and then left turn, inbound Ceylon, hold with 4 nautical mile legs, Ceylon at 4,000 feet. Easy. Easy stuff.
96 Golf Air contact over Rapid City.
All right, let's start working. Let's start working our checklists here as we get ready for descent. Top of descent's coming in just a minute here. Remember, we're going to hear vertical track in 1 minute 50. In 50 seconds, we'll hear vertical track. 1 minute after that, we'll start our descent, and you'll see path illuminate to green, and down we come. Okay, descent. Thrust lever is required. We're on auto throttles. We're going to be good there. Landing elevation check. Destination elevation shows here is 1152. Verify that. Walla Walla shows 1194. Huh, kind of funny. Wonder why that's different. I don't know. I'll look that up later. It's not that different, so we're all right. We do have broken clouds we're going through, so I'm going to go ahead. No, I'm not going to activate ice protection because the clouds. All right, fine. I'll activate ice protection if I see anything. Yeah, there's something out there. We're flying into some clouds. As we come through, I'll activate ice protection. And transition altitude to local setting. We've gotten altimeter 3002 at Walla Walla, so we'll use that instead as our baro. And seats and seatbelts secure. Okay. And let's see, what else can we do here? Let's get our comms set up. We're probably going to be asked to call, I'm guessing, Spokane approach 13315. So let me dial that now. 13315. Okay, pre-dialed Spokane approach. And then we'll dial Walla Walla Tower 118.5 in the standby once we make the switch. Okay, and you can see right here, there's the path coming in. It's funny I didn't hear vertical track, so I guess that made a liar out of me. So we're going to hit, you see VPath just got activated here, and we're coming down to the bugged altitude of 17,000. And the thrust is coming down now, 43 and decreasing because auto throttle has command, and Mach is set to 0.5. That's everything that we expected. Now, 43 seconds to the exode waypoint and continuing descent. And as we come on down, we're taking a look around us. Definitely have a little bit of cloud cover, but it's not that bad. I'm going to go ahead and keep ice protection off. TKS fluid is expensive. Okay, let's see. Get our aircraft system status and info here. And status and info page shows us our VREF of 84 knots. So I'll go ahead and get my bugs in. PFD speed bugs landing. VREF is 84. Enter. And VAP is on. Okay, VREF is set. AP of 100 and VREF of 84. Bugs are set. And remember, as we come through 18,000 feet, we'll switch off standard baro to 3002, which is the Walla Walla altimeter. Pasco VOR now in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Do a lot of computer stuff. You know, I haven't got my hands on the controls. It's incredible what this airplane is capable of. I love it. I just continue to be so impressed by it and love flying it. And I know its performance is fantastic. Alright, so we got this down angle here, about 5, looks like 5-degree pitch down right now. We don't want to have the deck, engine deck, any lower pitch down than 5 degrees. That's sort of a manufacturer's restriction. We're trying to make sure that we keep the engine deck operation from being canted for long periods of time on descent. That's part of the operating manual. Okay, ahead of us here, you can see the town of Pasco is that. I'm going to go ahead and go VFR sectional so we can take a look around. And tablet. Yeah, right, look at this here. This is town of Pasco ahead of us, sort of at the head of the river. And a Point Wallula on the other side. I think it's right there. River snakes off to the left to form Dalton Lake. That might be right where it bends, I guess, is Dalton Lake. Alright, we're through the transition altitude of 18,000. It's pretty fast, wasn't it? So I'll go ahead and push the button and return us to 3002. And it's going to modify its pitch down just a little bit. And we're flying below 250 knots, which is what we need right now, since we're below. No, that's below 10,000 feet. Excuse me. This thing can't really do more than 250 knots indicated anyway. Ground speed 325, still making good time. And 17,000 at Pasco. Now, we haven't been given any clearance to yet. We haven't asked for an approach. I'm going to go ahead and start my descent now to 11,000 as I am cleared to do. Vertical speed mode, and I'll come down at 1,500. Now, this is just me anticipating what we need to do. If I don't start coming down now, I'm not going to be in a good position to land. So we'll just come on down. And I don't know why I'm not hearing my buddies. Seattle Center, Vision Jet 6378 Mike. We got the weather at Walla Walla and ready with approach request.
Vision Jet 70 Mike, roger, go ahead.
Vision Jet 70 Mike, we'd like the RNAV GPS runway 20 into Walla Walla starting at the Walla Walla VOR.
Vision Jet 70 Mike, roger, you can expect that. Contact, Spokane approach 128.75.
Expect the RNAV 20, contact Spokane approach 128.75, Vision Jet 6378 Mike. Alright, 128.75, and let's pre-dial the CTAF at 118.5. Spokane approach, Vision Jet 6378 Mike, out of 15,000 feet, descending 1,000 feet.
Vision Jet 6378 Mike, Spokane, roger. Cross Walla Walla at or above 5,000, clear for the RNAV runway 20 approach.
Cross Walla Walla VOR at or above 5,000, cleared the RNAV 20 into Walla Walla, Vision Jet 6378 Mike. Boy, did I call 5,000 or what? Alright, so we're going to go like this. 118.5. Going to press AP and bring that down to 5,000, and we're going to keep this descent coming. Alright, so we got Lyles and we got ALW. You can see that cumulative ETA is 4 minutes. So we need to get down to 5,000 feet in 4 minutes. Are we going to be able to do it? We need to lose looks like 8,000 feet, and we're going 1,500 a minute. 4 minutes is 6,000 feet. We won't quite have done it. We're going to be able to lose 6,000. That puts us at 7,000 feet, so we'll need to continue to descend as we turn left on the ALW to Kimu. Remember that when we cross ALW inbound Kimu, it's going to be 4,600. So now at this point, what we want to do, flight plan, proc, approach, transition ALW. So I'm going to go ahead and hit activate approach. Now we're direct ALW, 13 minutes, or 3 minutes, 13 seconds. We're going to lose 4,500 off of 12,000, which is going to put us at 7,500. We still have 2,500 feet to go, so we're going pretty darn fast. So what we're going to do, since this is the initial approach fix, we're going to want to configure for a slower speed. So let's go ahead and do our checklist. I'm going to go utilities, checklists, approach. Approach briefing complete. We've done our approach briefing. Ice protection is required. Lights, flaps 50, airspeed 140. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull auto throttle off. We're going to pull the power back. Bring it into 30% thrust, and we know we can go flaps 50 at 190 knots. We need the speed down to 190. So thrust is going to come all the way back. We have no spoilers on this aircraft, so either we lower our slow our descent rate, which I don't want to do, or we bring the thrust all the way back and we just let it coast all the way down to 190. Then flaps come out. That'll speed us down further, and we want to fly this approach at 140 knots. We're slowing down, we're slowing down, we're slowing down. Hit home, left. We're going to zoom in. Okay, 190 indicated is just about to hit. There's 190 indicated, flaps can go to 10. Okay, and you can see the auto throttle just changed to 140 knots. I'll go ahead and activate the auto throttle again, because we want to run this at 140 knots, and that's just fine. 160, drop into 140. Now 2 minutes and 30 seconds to the ALW. VOR. Now that we've slowed down, we've actually bought ourselves a little time. Let's call it, we can go 3,000 feet down in 2 minutes. And so now we can get down to 6,000 feet by the time we cross. Now if we'd slowed down earlier, we could actually get all the way down to 5,000 by crossing, but I was a little bit behind my airplane, which I shouldn't have been doing, but here I was having a good old time flying the Vision Jet, so what are you going to do? Alright, let's verify that the flight plan shows what we expect. So ALW then to Kimu at 4,600 feet, and then that's the hold at Kimu, then Kosiv, Wacky, and runway 20, and then the mist is at Ceylon at 4,000 feet. Yep, that checks. Looking good. 2 minutes to ALW. We're going to lose 3,000 feet, and we'll be down to 5,300. Actually, this is working out pretty well. And you can see as we're crossing the ALW, this is Walla Walla Airport right here. And the 20 is going to be, I think, this long guy right there. So we're going to be making a left turn, and then we're going to do our course reversal out there and then come back in. I mean, you know, it doesn't look like it's necessary. We could have called for the visual runway 20, but I always like running these instrument approaches. And hey, what are we going to do if it was cloudy, right? You always want to be able to run these things. All right, we got our 140 set. Auto throttle's keeping us at 140. We're descending to 5,000 feet. We're going to cross ALW, and then it's down to 4,600 at Kimu. We got a minute to go. The very next thing that we're going to do is we're going to spin the dial down to 4,600 to cross Kimu. I'll show you the plate here, so we can play around with that a little bit. All right, 1,700 feet to go to 5,000. 50 seconds to the ALW VOR. Flaps are 10. Gear is not down yet. Once we're inbound on the final approach course, once we've done our procedure turn, we're inbound final approach course, I'll go ahead and put gear down. All right, and left turn, there's crossing. So I'll go ahead and drop this down to 4,600. And I should turn VNV off. I shouldn't be using the vertical nav mode. That was my mistake. Okay, we can descend now down to 4,600 since we've crossed the Walla Walla VOR outbound. And we'll hold 4,600 to Kimu. Okay, it's 13 miles. Now, looks like 12.1 to go. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. 400 feet to go to 4,600. And then we're going to hold 4,600, level 4,600 at 140 knots. And the procedure turn has us holding no lower than 4,600 for the entirety of the procedure turn. So we do not descend again until we are inbound Kimu, and then that's 3,200. Okay, auto throttle is responding, pulling our thrust up to maintain 140 knots.
Just 70 Mike, just report inbound on the approach.
Report inbound on the approach, 6378 Mike. Alright, so we'll report inbound Kimu once we cross. And I assume at that point he's going to call no traffic between me and the airport and cancel IFR whenever you want, and blah, 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 blah. And just to make things simpler, since it's a non-towered airport, we'll cancel IFR in the air and then finish up with calling CTAF and letting them know where we are. So when we're Kimu, we're going to be 5.9, so that's 6 plus 2.5 is 8.5, plus 0.9 is 9.5, plus 2.9 is 3 is 12.5. So we'll call it, at Kimu we're 12 north on the straight-in runway 20. And Kosiv, which is our final approach fix, looks to me to be something like 2.4 plus 2.9 is 5.5 plus 6.5, 6.5 north. So we'll call 12 north at Kimu, 6.5 north at Kosiv, and then we'll call it out at 3 and short. Sound good? Just trying to figure out as much as we can. Okay, that's outer marker. Two minutes to Kimu, 140 knots. See, the autopilot has a little trouble holding us steady at this low speed. Just a little trouble holding us steady. It's okay. Got little stubby wings. It's not easy. And this is a parallel entry, so we'll expect left turn and then back inbound Kimu. So once we cross Kimu, we'll report inbound. Let's set our next bug. We know our next bug is going to be 3200 at Kosov. So we'll spin the bug for 3200. And it's a 4 nautical mile turn, and we need to drop about 1,500 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and bring us down at 1,500 feet a minute. And that should be about a 5-degree down angle. We'll let the auto throttle take care of the speed. We'll use vertical speed mode to come on down. Okay, we're crossing Kimu outbound now. Crossing Kimu outbound. Parallel hold, going to be a left turn to come back inbound on course 202. That's right. Don't you make that turn yet. It's out on the course line and then left turn back around to intercept the approach fix. That's funny. I don't know what it's thinking it's doing. And remember, on the outbound, we got to stay at 4,600. No descents yet. Not until we're Kimu inbound. Do a little tablet work here for you. So there's that outbound. Gonna be a left turn, then back around 202, and then after Kimu inbound, then we can go down to 3,200 to cross Kosov. And what we're going to do is we are inbound. We're going to do 3 things crossing Kimu. We're going to start our descent to 32. Actually, we're going to do 4 things. Check this out. Start our descent to 3,200. Gear down. Report inbound. And activate approach mode. We're going to arm approach mode on the autopilot. We'll make our call last. So again, let's go over it. Descend 3,200. Gear down. Arm approach mode. Call inbound Kimu. Got a lot going on. You ready? Beautiful country out here. Alright, keep it swinging around. Okay, got airport lights. I feel like we've satisfied minimums, don't you? Okay, now we're pointing Kimu. Pop the tablet so you can see. Looking pretty good there. And so it's going to be right turn 202 as we cross Kimu, and then we'll be inbound. So we're not inbound yet. I'm not going to do all those things I talked about, not yet. Let's make that right turn, I will. Got the hand on the stick. We'll fly all the way down to minimums coupled approach. Once we hit minimums, I'll take it manual and I'll finish it up. Okay. And there's right turn 202. Okay, let's go ahead and start our work. Vertical speed, minus 1500 to 3200. Gear down. Arm approach mode. Okay, GP is armed. And we crossed Kimu. Spokane approach, VisionJet 6378 Mike, inbound Kimu.
VisionJet 70 Mike, roger. Report cancellation of IFR, missed approach on this frequency, or landing assured on 122.2. Frequency change through.
Roger, 6378 Mike, we'd like to cancel IFR at this time, please.
VisionJet 70 Mike, roger. IFR cancellation received, radar service terminated, squawk maintain VFR, frequency change approved. See ya.
Squawk maintain VFR, frequency change approved. Thanks for the help, 6378 Mike. Alright, 3,200 feet, and we're gold. We got 3 greens on the landing gear, we're all good there. Airspeed holding 140, 3,200, and next is Kosiv in 1 minute 58 seconds. And we're about 11 south of the field, or 11 north of the field, and we got 118.5 set on COM1. Let's go ahead and let them know, and we're squawking VFR. Walla Walla traffic, VisionJet 637 Mike is 11 north of the field, and straight in runway 20 full stop Walla Walla. Kosiv in 1.5 minutes. Watching for that diamond to come alive. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the landing checklist. Before landing, landing gear down and locked. Confirmed, down and locked. Flaps is required. Cabin pressure diff is 0. Not quite. Like, not at all. I don't like that, but whatever. Airspeed VREF to VREF plus 10. We'll get there. Okay, we're watching. Glide path is coming in. 3,200, Kosiv now 20 seconds. Flaps 100 can happen at 150 knots. Minimum set at 1394. Barrows 3002. Glide path capture. On the way down, flaps 100%. FMS speed now set to 100 knots, targeting 100 knots. On the diamond, on the localizer. LPV is active. Remove the tablet, nothing to see there. Had an outer marker. Walla Walla traffic, VisionJet 6378 Mike, 5 mile final, runway 20 full stop Walla Walla. Alright, 5 mile final. 3 minutes. Flying AP, watching that AOA. Radar altimeter is 1,000 feet above the ground. That's going to be pretty close to our minimums of 1394, so at 1,400 I'll call.
3 mile final runway 20.
1,400 I'll call it. $1,400 I'll go manual. Ready on power. Flaps 100. Landing gears down and locked. Flaps, airspeed, thrust lever, brakes as required.
$500.
600 feet to go. Walla Walla traffic, Vision Jet 6378 Mike, 2 mile final runway 20 full stop Walla Walla. $200 feet to go.
$500.
One mile final. Autopilot's doing a good job. A little bit of a right to left crosswind, you can see that. 50 feet to go. $20 Minimums.
Minimums.
Going
Minimums.
manual. There we go. I don't know why power wasn't responding there for a second. There's VREF. Boy, that plane wants to stay up, doesn't it? Flaps up. And we'll get off at Alpha 3. Walla Walla traffic. Vision Jet 6378 Mike is clear. Runway 20, taxi park. Walla Walla. I'm going to the terminal. Yeah, alright, turn the landing lights off. Alright, after landing checks, flaps, wing stab IPS is off, engine IPS switch not necessary, probe heat off, external lights is required, brakes check. Cool. I'm just going to go park over here where the gas is. What do we do? Yeah, we used about 30% of our fuel. That sounds about right. Okay. Parking brake. Thrust lever to idle. Ground idle for 2 minutes. Minimum prior to shutdown. For hot section to equalize. Yeah, we've been doing pretty good on that. I'm going to call that okay. Engine IPS switch off. Bleed air to fresh. And oxygen master switch to off. Lights off. Yep. Lights are off. Engine knob off. Oh, here, let's turn our active noise reduction off. Take the headphones off. Engine off and punch it. And tube below 24. Caps replace. Gen 1 and Gen 2 switches. BAT 1 and BAT 2 switches off. Egress door plane. Parking brake is required. Airplane secure. Procedure complete. Chocks in, covers and protectors, luggage door open. And we're done. Just step out of the air. Oops. Ah, that's funny. Okay. There we go. That's nice. Kind of step out of the airplane here and just like look around. All right. Nice day in Walla Walla, and we are done. That's good stuff. I love this plane. All right. Thanks for flying along there, Janet Airlines. Hope you enjoy it. I love the Vision jet. Tons of fun in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Just a great jet. So there's more Vision stuff on my channel. So check it out. There's a couple other flights that I do. Love flying this plane, though. Absolutely one of my favorites. Thanks so much for flying along today. Just a pleasure to have you aboard, and very glad to be kind of up and running again here. It's been a little bit, so thanks so much for being a part of things. We'll see you next time, and keep flying.